We ran out of shingles. This smells so nice. Wet much? I swear I didn't pee my pants without running a risk of fire.
I can't believe it. It's done.
Ahoy there! Welcome to Gridbound. In our last episode we had to suddenly stop our work because we ran out of staples. That was a really good excuse to take a road trip to the nearest store, which was about 50 kilometers away, and enjoy this beautiful country. When we returned, we were pros in our process. The front wall of our cabin went up really fast, even without speeding it up with a time-lapse. But even then, watching it in real time would be like watching paint dry or maybe shingles go up, so I sped it up a little for our viewers' benefit. By this time, we really got the rhythm down. We were collaborating really well, going between staining, drying, putting shingles up, finding the right width, and taking turns up on the ladder or on the scaffold.
Okay, now give me two of them about 5 inches each, please.
Two of them?
Yep. That's too high. Yeah, it's too high. That's too low. Perfect. Okay, we'll just make sure that is not the angle is. That's the straight. Okay, good.
As usual, I really appreciated Jules' years of experience and the little tips and tricks on how to space the shingles, how to set up a small temporary scaffolding on which we could then go and be safe. On each row, we nailed in a board that was at the right side, so we wouldn't have to guess on the reveal and the depth of the next row. And we also used a little piece of wood for spacing. That was really all the measuring tools we used on most of the cabin. And that, ladies and gentlemen, concludes the front wall of the cabin. All the shingles are installed. This was a lot of work with a lot of cutting around the window and door trim and the posts, but it's worth it. Beautiful.
That's what makes the work beautiful.
Yeah. Well, and now we are going to move to the last wall here. We will start at the far end, just trim some of the vapor barrier and put some red tape to make sure it's properly sealed against moisture, and get on with it.
Just make sure I don't hit my fingers because it's not too good.
Jules appeared to be getting some confidence in my skills and abilities too. The last two walls he really wanted to start them himself, but by this time he could see that I could do the work myself. Not all shingles would be perfect fit, but this was a layer that would be still covered by one more, so I thought it would be okay. Here is that little piece of wood that I mentioned. It was 8 inches long, which was the length of our reveal, and a 1/4 inch wide. Looking back, maybe we should have chosen a little bit less spacing, but I think even with the 1/4 inch it will be fine. And here is that board I talked about. We would just level it, make sure it's in the right height, 8 inches above the previous row, and just go. Today is exactly 1 year since we started digging right over there. That's where our first breaking of the ground happened, and look at it now. What an amazing progress in 1 year. We did the basic frame in about 6 weeks after we started digging the hole, and in the next another 6 weeks we had the roof up. I can't believe it's all these guys. It's all these guys doing. Thank you, Jules.
Because I'm so young.
Sometimes it required a little bit of acrobatics to get things done, but I really need this exercise and stretching and going up and down the scaffold, so I don't mind at all. It was later in the season, and just like that we ran out of stuff again. So it was time to take another road trip, this time in a little bit less favorable weather, but this land is beautiful in any weather. Guess what? We ran out of shingles, so we had to go get some more here in Port McNeill, chicken shingle. And we couldn't pick a better day than this because it's raining, so we can't do much work outside anyway. It's amazing how quickly they pick up the water, so they get quite heavy. This smells so nice. Love the smell of freshly cut cedar. Beautiful. All done, all ready to go.
Beautiful. No reason for both of us getting wet. Now you are walking, you are too wet.
Wet much?
Wet very much.
I swear I didn't pee my pants. With the shingles being so heavy when they were wet, I decided that I didn't want to really walk them all around the cabin to our staining station. So I thought I would clean off this wheelbarrow that has been sitting there for a couple of weeks now, and with all that rain it's full of water. In retrospect, I think it would be easier if I just walked with the shingles all around the cabin. A few days ago we decided that we would collect some of that broken up organic matter that was at the edge of the lake. The idea is that we will use it to put around some bushes that we planted earlier. As you can see, it just turned into a kind of messy soup of whatever that organic material is. It's mostly leaves and grass. Someday soon we'll bring proper soil to put on top of all that gravel, so these bushes have enough nutrients. But for now, at least, this should be enough. You can see all that organic stuff right at the edge of the lake. It floats in from all the dead wood, all the driftwood and old grass and old leaves, and collects itself on the edges. It looks kind of yucky, but it's not really. It doesn't smell. And it provides habitats to a lot of small frogs and salamanders and bugs, so I don't really mind, except it's really hard to get into the lake and not get dirty. Here is what I mean when I say that I should have just walked the heavy shingles. This whole thing took me probably half an hour. I'm sure I would have been done with shingles by then. And in the end, because the trailer was in my way and all that other construction stuff, I had to walk about half of that distance anyway. So much for planning. This one was on the top. It's probably at least 50% heavier than the first one, because it was on the rain directly. With shingles stacked, time to wrap it up. Now that the shingles are safely in place under the tarp, but there is enough air so they can breathe when it's not raining, and hopefully in a couple of days we'll be able to bring them back out here where our burning station is, and hopefully we'll have a window of opportunity where we can burn the shingles without running a risk of fire. We always have water on hand, but it's been really dry, so we have to be super careful. While Jules and I were working on installing the shingles on the other side of the cabin, Mama finally got to do her favorite part, which is staining. It's time to give the shingles the final layer of clear coat. You probably think that we are crazy to leave the shingles out on the rain once they are stained, but what we found is it dries out pretty quickly, and once it's stained, the rain really slides off and didn't make any marks, which was really surprising. But still, we didn't want them to stay on the rain for too long, so it was better to put them under the tarp anyway.
How many? Couple hundreds? Do you think there was couple thousand? Do you think it was more than 1,000? Oh my gosh, each shingle.
It was more than 1,000 because we have covered about
More than 1,000 shingles.
400 square foot, and 1 square foot I think is like 2.5 shingles. So yeah, about 1,000 maybe.
1,000 shingles, each of them burned on both sides and then painted on both sides, taken lovingly with my hands and dried. It's done. Ah, look at this, look at this. Look at this. See, 1,000, it really grows to your hand here. And look at the fingers, look at the fingers. Well, 1,000 is 1,000. And now I can take off my gloves and throw them out. I can't believe it, it's done.
This whole wall is now done, and the scaffolding will come down as soon as we put the clear coat on them, which will be probably in the next week. All the shingles are done, they are burned and stained, and we can finally take this away, thus clearing of more of the area, so we can in the coming weeks start to bringing in the fill and fill up the foundation up to the drains for the perimeter drain, the pipes over there, and that's a great progress. This brush is as good as new. We can just throw it out. Few things with building a cabin are more satisfying than doing a final cleanup. When things just disappear, you remove the scrap wood or whatever lies on the ground, you remove some of the supporting structures and the scaffolding, and things just start looking amazing. This video and the two before really spent several weeks over most of the summer. So we are kind of in a late summer season, and I am really happy that we have all the exterior work done, because now we can focus on the inside. But that's for another video. As always, thank you for watching. Until the next time, we are off-grid bound.